and basically, and basically, really what we're trying to teach here is showing you how you can use ImagineNotes to remember your diagrams. So,
Mm-hmm.
hi, my name is Erica, and this is, oh, and by the end of this, I jumped ahead. And by the end of this episode, you're gonna get the final full ImagineNote, your very own ImagineNote if you've been drawing along with us, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
your very own ImagineNote for the diagrams, yeah, for the Nephron.
Yep.
Why is ooh, my
We
chat needs an email login and password? Why so strange?
probably
Sorry,
you logged
guys.
out.
I
No
didn't.
issues.
Yeah. Well, we're back in now. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Confused there for a bit. Yeah. So by the end of this, you'll get the full note for the Nephron diagram, and you'll never have to
Remember it
uh,
again.
memorize the hard way ever again.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know us,
Freezing or what?
no.
What
Um,
happened? Is that a blackout?
we've been having electrical issues at home. So like today, I was having a meeting halfway. The light tripped, and then uh,
Oh, it's back on again. Ta-da.
and then yeah, and because no,
Oh,
we've been
it's
having
off
yeah,
again.
we've been having electrical issues at home because like the fridge has just been fritzing on us, I think. But I don't
Oh,
think it's the fridge anymore if the lights are tripping anyway. Yeah.
it should be the fuse or something. Lah.
Think so. Yeah. I'll probably find out later lah from the house from the housemates.
Okay, we'll just keep going like that, like on and off and on and off.
Actually that should have happened during the Halloween episode. That would have been really fun.
All right.
All right. So, for those of you who don't know us, hi, my name is Erica, and that's Joe. We're both teachers,
Ah,
and we hated studying just because memorizing did not work for us, and also because we felt like, whatever we were learning was pretty irrelevant. However, um, because of because of me having such a nice mom and understanding mom, who felt like I could do better in my grades and go ahead lah, just do your best anyway, right? I mean, she's not gunning for the A's. That I thought, okay lah, like, but I also had a very Asian dad, so that was the other reason also why, I had to study. So Joe and I, we make learning fun for high schoolers because there's not enough people trying to do that. So we create games, we also create
hi.
comics for learning as well. So for now, we've decided that ImagineNotes, this fun and creative note taking method, right? Because you have to use your imagination. We
Mhm.
decided that creating this tool and sharing it with you guys right now would definitely take the sting of it will allow us to help you get through your studies faster than if say we built the game because we tried, and it does take a longer while compared to us like teaching you tools that you can already use. And this one you can take with you forever.
Mm.
What we're teaching you here is a life skill. You're going to be able to use it even when you go to work, and especially when you go college and university, when things get even more complicated than this. Whether
I
you're whether you're in science, finance, or even like the arts. Yeah. Yes, guys, I kid you not, and Joe can vouch for this because Joe is a Lim Kok Wing graduate.
no,
For those of
I'm
you who don't know,
the
that
one
is a.
academy graduate.
I sorry. Your teacher's gonna kill me. Ah, sorry, sorry. I meant One Academy. Okay, Lim Kok Wing
Not
was
from
like.
LKW.
I'm so sorry. One Academy graduate. Oh my god. One Academy graduate, and basically, for those of you who don't know, the One Academy, the One Academy is basically the one of like the most like well-known creative design schools here, right? Am I phrasing it correctly? Because I'm not from there.
Yeah, should be
Yeah,
like one of the top one in Malaysia, I think. I guess.
yeah. But long story short, essentially, guys, we are not science teachers. And some
No,
people are like, and some people might go like, yeah, then what makes you think you guys can teach us science, right? And I'm just like,
you just
well,
can.
well, I often find that even in because we also run schools, and in our school we make learning fun and exciting for our students. And basically, I do find that the best teachers are often those who are not naturally gifted at a particular subject, and or a particular skill. So, for example, if you want to learn marketing, right? Well, okay, that's too far out there. Okay, let's just say math. Some of the best math teachers I've ever met were those that are actually who actually struggled with math themselves, and so they understand where you may not be able to understand the math, where
Mm.
you cannot math those points. They'll be able to explain it to you. So yeah, one such teacher I think would be like the guy who did betterexplained.com. For those of you who are struggling with math, he is so cool because I finally understand what calculus is for after all these
Yeah.
years. Yeah, I mean, I wish someone had explained it the way he
Mhm.
explains it. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, check out Better Explained. The other, yeah, so it, yeah, it really boils down to that. I think because then they can empathize, whereas the people who teach us math and science, they generally math and science inclined, and they belong to the 20%. So the secret is that they belong to the 20% of everybody,
Mm.
yeah, who are just naturally gifted and are
Mm.
able to see math in their heads. They see it as something concrete because that's how their brain works. But for the rest of us, it's just a number. It's just a bunch of numbers and eventually alphabets, and we're just like, why? Like, as already calculating numbers is difficult enough, now you have to introduce alphabets as well. Ugh.
Mm.
Anyhow, yeah. So that's what we do. Our job is to work
Oh,
with the experts
she's freezing
in math and science.
again.
Oh, am I lagging? Yeah. Our job is to, so Joe and I, our job is to work with the experts and and turn it into like games and comics. Yeah,
Mm.
basically, we are the bridge
Uh-huh.
for
Uh-huh.
learning. Wait, is that a bridge? No, that's a rainbow. Oh well, there we go. Yes. All right. So, and we do, and we share Imagine Notes every week. Yeah, Joe. So if they want to find out where the rest of our Imagine Notes are, like the shorter definitions and all that,
Yep.
where can they
You
go?
guys can just subscribe to our channel or like our videos, or to our social media accounts like IG, Facebook. Yeah, mostly IG and TikTok as well, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. We're
TikTok
we're on TikTok.
too.
Yes, yes.
So
I'm
we'll be
actually enjoying.
sharing fun notes on our social media. I'm having connection
Yes.
issue, and I'm back.
Yeah, we apologize, guys. It just rained here, and in Malaysia, when it rains, it also means our internet connectivity gets quite affected. And we try, but there's nothing much we can really do about it. Yeah, yeah. So thanks for hanging in there with us. And if you're there, say hi. And again, like if you like what we do and you urgently need a note for for a test or whatever or a particular topic,
Mhm,
let us
mhm.
know in the comments. We're so happy to help you. Yeah. Although next week
Yep.
onwards we will be uh, doing something a little bit different. Next week we're going to be looking at different things that you could be struggling with outside of actually making notes. Yeah.
Mm.
There we go. Yes. So stay tuned for that. Next week, what do we
Mhm,
have?
mhm.
Something about busting boredom.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So basically, next week's episode is about how to spend your holiday meaningfully, right? Because like I know I used to get very bored during the holidays because there's like nothing to do kind of thing, or like there's too much also fun things that becomes nothing to do. I don't know. Like you get what I mean.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but borders are opening here in Malaysia, so I guess everyone will be out and about. But it's still, and I always tell my students, please enjoy your holidays.
True.
Because by the time you become an adult, i.e., like Joe myself, you don't have time to, yeah, you really don't have time to pursue the things you want to do. I know you guys hear this a lot from the adults, right?
Mm.
Um, yeah, but I'm really serious, because at your age, I was just like, I don't believe you. Like, how are you gonna say that? Yeah, but when you become an adult, yeah, it becomes a little bit harder to have time to do nothing. So if
Mm.
nothing is what you like to do, next week we're gonna show you like how to make the most of it.
Do
I think your
nothing.
parents will not be happy to hear that. Like, why are you teaching my kids to do nothing during the holidays?
Because they just need to.
It's really a skill. All right, well, more on that next week. Let's jump straight into the diagram. Okay, so
Yep.
last week, just a recap. Okay, basically what we're trying to do here is, because you notice that these are very, very these are
Complicated.
very, very complicated, convoluted phrases,
Confused.
confusing phrases. Yeah. Teacher Charles, who joined us last week,
Yep.
he studied medical science, and he was like, "Oh, okay, no," because he's also a teacher at our school, and he goes the extra mile to make learning fun for his kids.
Ooh.
So he's like, knowing what I do now, he wonders. He wonders what he would have done differently, knowing the study techniques that we teach in our school as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, but basically we do this so it cuts down on your study time. Essentially, because when you memorize straight up, all you retain is like 10%, like reading and reading, and then basically over time that reduces even further. So yep, okay. And in our school, we know that this works because we've been doing it for the past 26 years. And this is how I grew up studying, actually. Okay, and I'm not an A student, okay, guys? Not an A student. Very average. Yeah, just everyone thought I was like some sort of genius because of this. Yeah, I'm not. All right, so yeah, so as you can see, the glomerular capsule. So to me, it sounds like a glow man because I accidentally saw it at the N as the R as an N last time when we first did this note. So I ended up drawing a glowing man in a capsule saying "Yula." Very Malaysian. Yeah, that's how we blame people. Then we have the proximal convoluted tubule, who is like in your face, going "woe is me." Yeah, and then you have the distal, and the reason why I did it this way because you also have the distal convoluted tubule, and he's like really far away, right?
Yeah.
Woe is me. Yeah, and then we have the cortex medulla junction, and you have neocortex from Crash Team Racing or Crash Bandicoot for those of you who are fans of that out there. Yeah. Yeah, they just did a remake, right? Well, a couple of years back. And then, so that's why I have and medulla sounds like Medusa. So that's why you have neocortex and Medusa. That's how I would remember it. For if this doesn't work for you, if any of this doesn't work for you, remember you can always find something that you relate to better.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's really about finding the. It's really about like creating things that are remarkable, relatable to you as well. Okay. Yeah, and this one, Joe, what would this be?
Which one? Collecting that?
Yeah.
That.
So duck there because duct, right?
Yep.
Okay, sounds like all right. And then loop of the Nephron. To me, it sounds. I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, so it's like Lord of the Nephron, loop of the Nephron. So I had like Gandalf drawing rings. Yep.
Yep.
But again, it's really up to you. And we have the afferent arterial. Now, this one I would probably struggle with remembering. So what I did was I took things that I recognized, like afferent, right? So it sounds like a furry. Arterial sounds like a bird to me. So, ta-da. Okay. So yeah, if you want a full explanation, last week's video done. Okay. All right. So all we have left is the blood vessels. All things bloody. Okay, and that's coming. Where are you? Yeah, correct. Oh,
you guys
sorry.
don't be shy and comment below and say hi, okay, if I just here.
Yes, and if you guys are enjoying this so far, please go ahead, like, subscribe, to our channel. We always, every week without fail, we're on here, except maybe like during Christmas and New Year's week. We're probably planning to take a break then and give you guys a break. Yeah. Okie doke. All right, so we're here. Okay, so the two things that we missed out last week. Oh, actually, it's only two more things. Oh, three. Yeah. So four actually. Okay, so there's four more things. I'm gonna do it in a different color so that we know that this is the blood vessels. I'll probably do it in blue. Yeah, and if you have red, that's great because red tends to represent arteries and then blue is veins, right? So yeah, but for now, I'm stuck with like three colors. Yeah, because I'm not
Then the blue one.
artistic in the sense of the word. Yeah. All right. So over here you have the interlobular artery. Okay. Now, all right. So interlobular artery. To help me remember interlobular. So inter means like outside. So like internet, right? So it's like a connection outside, whereas intra is like connections inside, right? So and then lob sounds like throwing. So basically,
Lobster.
yes, you can totally do a lobster. For me, I kind of just drew an artery that was kind of throwing a basketball over to people. Yeah, so interlobular artery, and you can do this in red. And then over here, you have the opposite, which is the vein. Now, Joe and I were confused last week about the differences between the artery and the vein. So,
Mhm.
for those of you who may not know or who may not remember, sorry, this is my version of a basketball. For those of you who may not remember, Joe, can you enlighten them on the differences?
The differences between artery and vein, is it?
Yep.
Well, basically, it's just the blood carries oxygen, right? And then it flows into our body using these capillaries, and then coming out also via the capillaries. So for blood that flowing in and carrying oxygen is actually going through your artery. And then when the oxygens are depleted and is going through vein. Yeah, if that makes sense to you. Okay, so they're basically like a tunnel, but different names of tunnel.
Yeah, basically one allows the blood that carries oxygen into an area, and after they deposit the oxygen, then they come out. You call that the vein. Yeah, so it doesn't work like our monorails, guys, where that one line is called the one. It's called the one name. Yeah. Okay.
But I
So
saw
just
another picture also says another thing, like
yeah.
artery actually actually allow the blood flowing in with waste, and then vein coming out without waste. So yeah, so
Ah,
different part of body has different functions of that lah.
okay. Well, so again, guys, why this is difficult to remember is that we generally don't use it.
Oh, teacher Charles says vein carries blood to the heart.
Oh, there we go.
Mm.
Oh, teacher Charles is in. Hey, how come I don't get to see the chat?
Yeah. Artery
Hi,
carries
Charles.
blood away from the heart. So one is in and one is out, if it makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, so I guess like if you guys are feeling like really down, like, oh man, how am I ever going to remember these things? Please don't feel bad because we learn best by doing. And if I were running a class for this, I was thinking in my head, I would probably like give each of you like a job function card and get all of you to figure out where you are, in terms of the process and the flow. It's just as a fun activity because that process of trying to guess where and trying to make sense of like the different parts of the nephron, I would, yeah, it will help you embed that into long-term memory because you had to figure out the information. Memorizing straight up, it doesn't quite give you that. Yeah, so like if I was a bio teacher, I would probably do it like that so that the retention of what you guys learn is higher because we don't use this information every day in our daily lives. I mean, that's why for those of you who play LOL or Dota or anything like that, or those video games, the reason why you remember the skills, even though they're so complicated, if I asked you to memorize it straight up, nothing's going to go in. But how do you know it so well? How do you know the casting range? How do you know, what each of the skills can do? I'm so sorry, I ran out of battery for my light. So how do you know, like, what each of the skills can do into such detail? You didn't memorize it, but through playing the game and figuring out like what each skill is for and experimenting it in different ways, that's how you know it so well that if I asked you straight away, like, okay, this spell, what's the casting range, or this spell, what would you use it for, you would be able to tell me. Yeah. So Joe and I, the reason why we're in this company right now, in Studio E, is because we want to turn education like that. Our school's already doing it, but we want to make that more accessible to more of you. Yeah. So when you guys try and remember how this goes, try putting yourselves. One of my suggestions would be try putting yourselves as though you need to figure out the job description or the function of each part. Yeah, and then try and imagine like what it would do if it breaks down. Yeah,
Yep.
we'll figure. Yeah, so I guess that's why Cells at Work does really well, because I noticed they always have a theme of like, oh, like I
Situation.
never knew I was so important.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always have that theme, because then I don't know, for me then I remember, oh yeah, okay, this is why this guy is important, right? Like which one? Which episode was that? It
Okay, while
started with
you're
that episode,
recalling,
then it
Teacher
started
Charles
continuing.
actually share a tips like very useful for you to remember whether it's a vein or artery. Vein, the way he remembers it is V in, I think it's called V in, into the heart. So that actually carries the blood into your heart. V in, vein, VIN.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice.
And then artery is like away from the heart because it starts with A, right? Artery.
Yeah.
Away from the heart. And then he says the credits go to Teacher William.
Ah, yes. Teacher William is another epic teacher in our school who makes learning really fun. Yeah, and relevant.
Right.
So thank you, Teacher Charles. Why don't we do okay, we're gonna do a quick imagine for you guys on that. Yeah, using that. So thanks, Teacher Charles. Yeah, so we're bringing all these things to you. Next year, we hope to bring people like Teacher Charles and all that on board to explain the more complex stuff, and we'll do notes on the spot. Yeah, we hope that helps. Yeah, because they're really good. They're science teachers me and Joe wish we had growing up. It makes more sense to learn from them. Cool. All right. Yeah. So so coming back to this, yeah, Cells at Work really does like put that in like a very clear frame. Yeah. There was a joke my dad told me before, but I don't think I will. It involves the butthole. Feeling like feeling very unimportant, and all the body parts were laughing at it, then decided to shut down, and everything else shut down. So yeah, that was a joke running like that. Okay. Over here, this is called the Venule. So in our case, we kind of drew like a giant concert hall. Okay, because it sounds to us like venue. Yeah, if you like, if your family goes out for dinner a lot and you always book the dinner venue, you could also draw a restaurant there if you like, and two people dining out. Dining out. Yeah. All right. And the last one would be, what is the last one? Oh yes, the last one is the peritubular. Peritubular capillary network. I remember 2 out of 3 of that phrase. Okay. Peritubular capillary network. I'm going to draw it here. Peritubular capillary net.
What?
Ta-da! Okay, so how do we go about remembering that? Right. So I love Nando's.
Perry.
Yes.
Perry
I love-
flavor.
Yes, and I love and network to me sounds like a TV channel. So I would draw this dude here. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I would draw a peri chili here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm so sorry if you guys cannot see it. Again, I'm not an artist, but we are trying to show you that even if you can't draw, like me, what's important is that these things are functional, right? So, peritubular. Cappy network. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Okay, yes. Ah ha ha ha. Okay, great. Background. Okay, so imagine like a news anchor at CNN. So it's a TV network called the Peritube, and yeah, there we go. And the guy's wearing a cap to help me remember. It's Peritube, Capillary network. Yeah, that's kind of how I would do it. So we call this the Peritube. Yeah. Oh, okay. And I remember what I did before. We called this the Peritube, like YouTube Peritube at the Capillary network or the Cappy network. Yeah. So that's another way to do it too. At this moment, this is how I would do it. It does change from time to time. Yeah. Yeah. So there we go. Here we have this thing. Okay. I'm so sorry. It's 8:30. We did want to show you how to actually connect this all together. But I don't think we have time because we try and keep this within half an hour. But I do want to share with you guys like what you can do to actually connect these things together. So we already shared with you how to think about each thing because it feels like it's a lot of effort to. It feels quite troublesome to have to do that, but it's also just as troublesome to go glomerular capsule, afferent arterial,
like going over and over again without any purpose.
What is it? Proximal convoluted tubal, distal convoluted tubal, conducting. It's also just as painful to memorize it this way, and at the end of the day, you won't retain a lot of it, right? So what you could also do in terms of the functions, teacher Charles last week, he got really excited. So he shared like we could tell a story. Yeah, because this is technically a filter. So you could tell a story about, a barista making coffee using the filter and how the coffee travels through and eventually comes out at the collecting duct, which could be disgusting. And you can make it as disgusting as you want. Some of our kids, especially because they're older kids, so they're high schoolers. So sometimes their notes, you can see they use really dirty jokes. Yeah, but for us, it's. I mean, as long as it helps you remember, it doesn't matter. It's like how when you pick up it's no secret, right? When you pick up a foreign language, the first words you remember are swear words because it's easier. Yeah, somehow. So you start there and then you work your way to the other words, right? Or like if you have a purpose to learn it, like say you're traveling to Japan, you want to, should I even be saying this? You want to pick up chicks, right? What do you learn? Pick up lines, right? In Japanese, right? And that's how you'd start. But there's always a reason why you would learn something. So in this case, yeah, you could actually tell it like a story, like an adventure. Turn it into an adventure, right? So we'll quickly do it this way. What we'll do is for next week, because there's a bunch of videos that I've been waiting to record. I just don't have the help right now. So what we'll do is we'll add this one to the list of things that we will record properly and put on our channel. Yeah. We will do a story of basically that connects and helps you remember how everything flows through the nephron. Yeah, because I believe those of you who are taking the extended paper for IGCSE, you guys will be. Can you hear my housemate singing?
Yes.
Yeah, she's practicing for a wedding, so yeah, she sings really well. Bear with it. Yeah, I like her. I like to hear her sing. Yeah, so for that, we will come up with a story and we'll put it down for you guys, so that you guys can remember how the blood gets because this is basically, the nephron is basically an ultrafilter. Yeah, means it helps filter out gunk, all right, from the blood.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, if I had a choice, I would also probably draw like a mask here, or like, I don't know, like turn this into like some sort of superhero like logo or symbol going the nephron, the ultra filter, the ultra filter, right? Or it could even be, you could even turn it into a story where the, like the bad guys are telling each other about, like, this is a story about the ultra filter, and then at the end of it, it's like, and this is why we need to take it down, right? The ultra filter being the nephron, right? And so
Yes.
in that story, then like it can be like a guide to other bacteria or other like gunk inside the blood on how to beat the ultra filter, or like, please go ahead and figure out ways to defeat the ultra filter. One day we will prevail, right? So that's also another way that you can think about it, which will help you remember. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, Joe, anything else you want to add before we end?
No, so far so good.
All right. So
Well,
guys,
basically, one more thing, I think it's just that the part that we're going through is actually like a microscopic view of that one tiny spot on your kidney. Yeah, it's not the entire kidney. It's just one.
yes, and the kidney is made out of
Like
millions and hundreds of these things, right? Yeah.
a lot of different-
Yes. So if you guys found this helpful and you think what we're saying about education makes sense and you are so for this kind of education, let us know. This is just one small part of what our students experience in the school, and this is basically the first step of Studio E, trying to bring this over to you guys who may be like geographically challenged, or like in the sense that you can't exactly come to our school. Yeah, it's too far away, or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, we hope this helps you. Yeah. Okay. So again, as always, we will see you guys next week. And next week we're going to be talking about how to enjoy your holidays to the max.
Yay! So that you don't feel holidays are short.
Yeah. Actually, that's true. Holidays always feel so short. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. And for those of you who stayed to the end, we appreciate you so much. Yeah, please take care of yourself. Stay safe. There's all these mutations of the viruses. And in Malaysia, we could be faced with a fourth wave. So, that's what I saw in the news. So you guys take care of yourselves out there. Life is too short. And if you can go out, make sure that you can go out forever. Mask up and things like that if you believe in masks. If not, then find other ways to protect yourself. Other than that, we'll see you next week again.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye bye.